If you could select any version of Tom Brady, which one are you choosing? Is it the underdog version of Tom Brady in 2001 that stands out to you? Or how about the comeback king version in 2016 where he sold his soul to achieve the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time? Or maybe was it an MVP winning version that didn't even get to lift a Lombardi?
Brady back again. He steps up his head and falls forward, and he fumbles the football, and the Eagles have it.
You can't really go wrong with any of them, but without question, I'm taking 2007 Tom Brady. His combination of elite passing, razor-sharp IQ, insane playmaking, and his ability to take over in the clutch was surreal. It was like every version of Tom Brady thrown into one. He and the Patriots offense had changed the NFL forever in 2007, and he needed all of it to carry his team to where nobody thought possible. In his first MVP season in 2007, Tom Brady unlocked a side of himself we had never seen before, just 6 years into his career and already being a surefire lock for the Hall of Fame before the age of 30. And this is how he did it. Now picture this. It's 2007 and the New England Patriots are well into their 2-decade-long dynasty. Tom Brady's incredible Super Bowl run in 2001 as a sophomore quarterback was proven not to be an outlier by the team winning 2 more Lombardi trophies in 2003 and 2004. While there wasn't much success in the 2 years that did follow that 2004 championship, an AFC Championship game appearance in 2006 showed that this Patriots team led by Brady and head coach Bill Belichick was still a lingering force to be reckoned with. By now, 2 years without a Super Bowl appearance was considered a failure in the eyes of Belichick, encouraging him to attack the 2007 offseason with everything he had. Having thrived as primarily a defensive-led team through most of Tom Brady's career so far, Bill Belichick saw this as the year to really hone in on the quarterback's talent.
I had a lot of respect for Wes, in particular playing against him.
You know, his contract came up and we were like, well, that's the guy we want.
Then, during the second day of the 2007 NFL Draft, this trade happened.
The biggest story on day 2 of the NFL Draft involves a trade. The Patriots and Raiders making it official. Oakland sending disgruntled yet talented wide receiver Randy Moss to New England for a 4th-round draft pick.
I think all in all, it's a low-risk situation that could pay out high dividends for us in the end.
I just think talent-wise, he's a great talent athletically. I just think football-wise, his talent is average.
Randy is, again, I think he's a very competitive player, and I think that he's very experienced, knows what it takes to win, is a winner, and I'm glad he's on this team.
Moss was clearly on a trajectory to the Hall of Fame, having averaged 1,188 yards and 11 touchdowns per season over his 9-year career thus far. However, 2 underwhelming seasons from his last 3, including just 553 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2006 in Oakland, led many to believe that his best days were behind him. Bill Belichick saw things differently, and the 4th rounder he gave up to acquire Moss will go down as one of the greatest trades in NFL history. Dante Stallworth was also added to the offensive side of the ball in free agency, while Pro Bowl linebacker Adalius Thomas bolstered the defense, and Asante Samuel was given the franchise tag. It was clear that Bill Belichick's response to losing in the AFC Championship game in 2006 was to transform the offense, and he did just that. After completing just 61.8% of his passes for 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in 2006, Brady started the 2007 season absolutely on fire. He completed at least 78% of his passes in the team's first 2 games for 6 touchdowns and just 1 interception, winning both games by 38 points to 14. The season opener saw the Patriots visit the division rival New York Jets, who were the first team to feel the wrath of a resurgent Randy Moss, who brought in 9 receptions for 183 yards and 1 touchdown.
Here he is again, like a statue in the pocket. Able to go long for Moss. Moss has his first touchdown as a Patriot.
I mean, after seeing that catch too, this was certainly a concerning sign for the rest of the league. Brady himself finished up with 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 0 sacks on the day, with his other new wide receiver Wes Welker also collecting a touchdown. After notching 38 points in each of the first 2 weeks, Brady and his new look offense stuck to the script and landed 38 points on the division rival Buffalo Bills in week 3, this time only giving up 7 points in response. New England's defense only gave up 83 net passing yards on that day. Not that this affected Tom Brady's game plan at all, but just to be safe, he completed 23 of his 29 pass attempts for 311 yards and 4 touchdowns, again connecting with Randy Moss for 115 yards and 2 of these touchdowns. And by now, at this point in the season, I think it was safe to say that most people realized that Randy Moss's 2006 season and how bad it was a little bit of an outlier. He looked back to his brilliant best, outpacing cornerbacks for deep touchdowns and outjumping them with ease on contested catches in the end zone. The Patriots simply looked unstoppable. 2 more 34-point outings took the Patriots to 5-0 before the team decided to up the ante even further. A trip to Dallas saw New England surpass the 40-point mark for the first time that year, with Brady also hitting season highs with 388 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. This time, it was Dante Stallworth leading the charge with 136 yards and 1 touchdown, closely followed by Welker, who collected 11 receptions for his 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, Randy Moss also got involved, although his 59 yards and 1 touchdown were relatively subdued for his standards. Up to this point, New England's 6-0 record and an average of 38 points scored per game suggested something special was brewing, but they hadn't even reached the top speed yet. Brady followed up his 5-touchdown outing in Dallas with a 6-touchdown performance in Miami, as New England set a new season high of 49 points when defeating the Dolphins. Then, just 1 week later, another new season high was set in a 52-7 victory over Washington. It wasn't until week 9 that New England failed to score over 34 points in a game, instead having to settle for 24 in their first close game of the year. That Week 9 clash saw the team head out to Indianapolis to take on a very talented Colts side led by Peyton Manning. Their first defeat of the season did look to be on the cards, as New England found themselves down by 10 points in the fourth quarter, but 2 clutch touchdown drives by Tom Brady edged them ahead by 24 points to 20, giving them their 9th win of the season. Randy Moss once again made his mark, bringing in 9 receptions for 145 yards and a touchdown. That victory allowed New England to enjoy their Week 10 bye week with an unbeaten 9-0 record under their belt and a historically good offense clearly clicking. But what had suddenly changed to make this offense so good? The New England offense with Tom Brady under center had only ranked inside the top 7 in points scored twice throughout his first 6 years of his career, ranking 10th or worse 3 times. Now by week 10 of the 2007 season though, they were clearly leading the way, and Tom Brady's 33 touchdowns were already 5 more than his previous best effort, with half of the season still to play. Of course, the arrival of one of the best wide receivers in league history in Randy Moss made a significant difference, along with the arrival of one of the most effective slot receivers of all time in Wes Welker. Moss was just an absolute size and speed freak who could outrun and outjump double coverage, and Welker was a magician when it came to creating separation in space when there shouldn't be any. Having those 2 juggernauts at the wide receiver position would obviously upgrade or just make anybody's statistical output go up, but there was more to this domination than just personnel. The Patriots also implemented a new offensive scheme nobody in the NFL had thought of, one that ultimately welcomed in a brand new era of football and the type of offensive play that is now commonplace in the modern day NFL. The spread offense and shotgun formation were not exactly new news in 2007, but Tom Brady's Patriots embraced both concepts and combined them in lethal fashion. Seth Wickersham of ESPN wrote that the 2007 Patriots operated out of the shotgun on 49.4% of the snaps in that 2007 season, when the league average was just on 27%. Not only that too, but the Patriots also spread out their offense as wide as possible and increase their use of motion. This combination would force defenses to declare early, and with Tom Brady in the shotgun, he had a clear view on what was going on and could easily find the best zones to attack. So between the shotgun formation and spread offense and the elite wide receivers on hand to capitalize on the space, Belichick and the Patriots front office were perfectly playing into Tom Brady's strengths. Few quarterbacks in NFL history have been as effective at breaking down what the defense is showing, processing reads, and hitting targets with perfect timing and accuracy as Tom Brady. This 2007 New England Patriots side was built to allow him to thrive, and in doing so, it reshaped what offensive football looks like now. After their bye week, the good vibes just kept coming for New England fans too, starting with a 56-10 beatdown of the Buffalo Bills, in which Brady completed 79.5% of his passes for 373 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. That was followed by 2 much closer games in which New England emerged victorious by just 3 points against both Philadelphia and Baltimore, before getting back to winning in 2-score games against Pittsburgh, New York, and Miami. This set the Patriots up with a perfect 15-0 record heading into the final week of the season, where the New York Giants would attempt to prevent the Patriots from completing an unbeaten regular season record. In a thrilling season finale, both New England and New York went back and forth, with both quarterbacks playing at a high level. Eli Manning and his 4 touchdowns had Patriots fans fearing the worst, but in typical Brady fashion, he found a way to come up with the goods. Trailing by 28 points to 23 with just over 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Brady delivered another perfect deep pass to Randy Moss, who had burned his defender before waltzing in for the 65-yard touchdown to take the lead. Then after an Eli Manning interception, Brady iced the game by leading his team on a 9-play, 52-yard drive that culminated in a 5-yard rushing touchdown to give the Patriots a 38-28 lead. The New York Giants had pushed their opponents to the absolute limit, but ultimately the greatest team in NFL history got the job done when it mattered most. The Patriots scored the most points in NFL history at the time with 589, and Brady set a new record for passing touchdowns in a single season with 50, which went along with 4,806 yards and just 8 interceptions to win Brady's first MVP award. Randy Moss also landed on top of an all-time leaderboard with his 23 receiving touchdowns, which was enough to win him the NFL Comeback Player of the Year award. Moss also managed to collect 1,493 receiving yards on the season, and not far behind him was Wes Welker, who tied for the most receptions in the NFL that year with 112, which he converted into 1,175 yards and 8 touchdowns. In total, New England averaged 36 points per game, which was a whopping 8 points better than the Dallas Cowboys in second place. That's also an incredible 12 points better than the 24 points that New England averaged through the 2006 season. And yes, you can argue that Welker and Moss were both very instrumental into the success that the Patriots and Tom Brady did have, but you could also say that this ushered in a new era of elite football that Tom Brady was playing at after the 2007 season. In this spread offense, he absolutely toyed with defenses, easily identifying their plan and finding their perfect place to attack them. He manipulated their coverage screens through the use of motion and hard counts to determine where the pressure was coming from before calmly adjusting his plan and ripping them apart with ice-cold composure and accuracy. It was quarterbacking like we had never seen before, and it would surely result in the 4th Lombardi Trophy of his young career. In the playoffs, New England managed to add 2 more wins to their perfect season record by defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars in the divisional round and the San Diego Chargers in the AFC Championship game. This set up a Super Bowl clash with the New York Giants to complete the ultimate perfect season, but concerning signs had begun to arise. Star wide receiver Randy Moss managed just 1 catch and 0 touchdowns in each of these first 2 playoff appearances, with Tom Brady even throwing 3 interceptions in the AFC Championship win over San Diego. Nevertheless, though, this was a supremely talented Patriots side, and they entered Super Bowl 42 as heavy favorites over a New York Giants side that had just posted a 10-6 record to come second in their division. Everybody believed that the Patriots were about to wrap up a spectacular unbeaten season in the best way possible, but things didn't exactly go to plan. You see, the New York Giants had a defensive coordinator that, well, in present-day football, we're all very familiar with.
Right before I walked out of that meeting, he said, "Don't worry, Steve, this will all work out. You'll be," and a year later, I leave and go to New York and we win a Super Bowl. So he was right.
Steve Spagnuolo stole the spotlight on this monumentous day as his defense confused and suffocated the highest scoring offensive team in NFL history at the time. His defensive line absolutely dominated, and Tom Brady was only able to complete 60% of his passes for 266 yards and 1 touchdown. On the other side of the field, Eli Manning collected 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, proving his own clutch ability by leading the team on a game-winning drive that featured David Tyree's iconic helmet catch play.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Manning then delivered the decisive blow on a 13-yard touchdown to Plaxico Burress, putting the New York Giants ahead by 3 points with just 35 seconds left on the clock. Against all odds, the underdog New York Giants had defeated the greatest team in NFL history and prevented them from celebrating an unbelievable undefeated campaign. In doing so, Tom Brady's remarkable legacy-altering season would go to waste, with the only defeat of the season coming in the most important game of them all. And although he may not have won a championship that year in 2007, what Brady was able to accomplish that year during that season is still viewed as one of, if not the greatest season by a quarterback in the history of the NFL.